Hello everyone and welcome back. It's Star Ladder Season 12. We are in the Europe qualifier, what they consider stage number 1. And today we get to experience Group B. We have 4 groups of 4 teams. The top 2 from each of those groups is going to be moving on to the second stage. And GoDz is going to be joining me today. And welcome back to Western Dota. Things have been crazy, let me tell you.
I've heard bits and pieces. I've been over doing the SEA stuff lately for the summit, but Starlighter sounds like it's been. I've seen the Reddit highlights at least. Let's just say this.
Every day there's just something crazy. It's disconnects. Yeah. It's 4v5s. It's snowballs to cliff. It's making people out there betting their rares go absolutely crazy, but it doesn't stop. So with today we got a nice couple of matchups. It's a Europe or not Europe. It is a Europe doubleheader, but it's an Empire doubleheader today. Today they're going to be taking on BU, not Burden United. It's basically unknown, which is pretty much what I know about the team. And then also today we have Empire taking on Na'Vi. So a nice little classic one right there. So without further ado, I'm just going to get us into the game at hand so we can see this draft is already starting out pretty fast here. So basically unknown. What do we know about them? Not a whole lot.
They played last Star Ladder. That's the extent of my knowledge. I cast a few of their games last Star Ladder on Europe. But I don't even recognize this roster apart from Mind Control. He's the only familiar name I think he was playing on that roster, so it's like a similar name, maybe a completely different roster. But. Yeah,
the 2 players that are at least from what looks like the original roster are indeed Mind Control, but they also do have Nico Baby, who's also been on the roster originally. Pure Evil and what I'm going to say Insol, we're going to try to figure that one out, but they seem to be 2 of the newer members. I tried to check them out and see if they were aliases. Of course, their profiles are private, so they're not making anything easy, but Dumpster Player is a rise.
Damn, what a name.
That was confirmed. He said he made a big mistake with registering his name.
And you can only change it so often.
You know, so...
I think it was the summit where like going to try and force players like to have their proper name, and like someone was like, oh, I got to like talk to Bulba or something because he was using this stupid flow name, and it's like you can only change it every 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, you commit once and you're stuck with it with 2 weeks, I guess, so they can't abuse the system. So one of the first things he said, he came in, he's like, hi, yeah, sorry, listen, I blew it with my name. And then someone else on his team had to call it out like that's a rise. So they have one of the best Magnuses in the game. We'll have to see if it's something they decide to pull out. Empire, this is the obvious favorites coming into this matchup. They are the 85% odds favorite to be exact, and it's their old standard lineup. Yoki, Resolution, Always Want to Fly, Aloha Dance, and of course Silent. And actually I might as well take advantage of this fancy little production value here, GoDz. Let's go ahead and show Team Empire. Boom! Starlighter TV. Look at them. Handsome.
Yeah, they're looking good there, these guys. They're returning champions from season 11? Yeah, we're season 12. I got these seasons mixed up. Yeah. 11, 12, some big number. It's actually crazy how many seasons Starlight has done. They're still kicking.
They are still kicking. Should be a lot of fun. Things are going to be a bit different, I hear. They've actually already changed up, obviously, how the group stage / qualifier work with this new 4-group into 2-group into our brackets, so it seems pretty crazy. Just to be fair, we'll kind of show off what basically Unknown's roster lineup has been, or what it should be, or what to expect. And there you are. Remember, of course, that these stats are based upon pretty much their history with playing in Star Ladder, so take it as you will. Let's actually talk about the draft, though, because, things are clearly flying through. Basically Unknown, they get a hold of the Shadow Fiend Zeus, Skywrath Mage, Undying is their 4th grab. Team Empire, Jug, Bristleback, Shadow Shaman, and Brewmaster. A lot of melee there, GoDz.
Yeah, and that's where I see this Undying pick and think, man, that's a pretty nice game to be an Undying. You've got lots of good decay targets, and dealing with Tombstone, it's got decent physical damage, but it's still going to be your melee heroes, and there's a good chance it's going to be like in those early fights when the Tombstone's like around when Undying hits level 7, it's going to be problematic. So we don't get to see Undying too much, but whenever I do, it's always fun.
Such a niche kind of a pick, but for situations like this, I could see it working. Kind of in the same sense, and we could possibly see it here. It depends basically on how they like to run things. It's not a team I'm very familiar with, but if it's a core Zeus, let's say, maybe they could still throw in something fun like a Timber Saw to really take it back to some of these big boys on the side of Empire, but more than likely, I would assume this is an off-lane Undying.
Yeah, I think Zeus, maybe dual lanes, like a Zeus Undying off-lane, I think is most likely, and they pick up some carry to go with the Skywrath for the safe lane. Zeus and Undying kind of just share the farm a bit. It's not really a clear farmer in that lane. Probably slightly more Undying favored. Centaur, I think, is going to be the safe lane farmer, but this could go any direction.
This is crazy. In Aloha Dance, well, they get 4 Aloha Dance at the end of Empire. They pull out an Omni Knight, even more melee. This is like a let's brawl, and I got my 1 paramedic here to back us up, but we're going in for a serious fight, man. Pretty crazy. So there it is, underway. We don't really hesitate with the pauses, apparently, as we get right into it, and this is just something to expect. At least as of recent, it's been about, well, it feels like 3/4 game, 1/4 pause at the rate we've been going. But I guess now we can actually take the moment to really look over some of these lineups here. Do you think there's going to be any sort of limitations to Empire's lineup as far as they're going all in with more of this melee kind of lineup style where pretty much all of their team is favorable to more long-winded fights and hanging and going toe-to-toe, whereas a team like basically Unknown, maybe they can look to kite it a bit, work with that?
And they'll have to fight around the tombstone. So like when they see that tombstone drop, they're going to have to back off and re-engage, or they have to kill the tombstone very quickly until late game when they get enough damage where it's like, and once they have their tanky items, the tombstone is much less of an issue, especially with like a Crimson Guard on a Bristleback as a potential item. I think it's going to be this small, like when they're waiting for the Brewmaster Blink Dagger is when they're going to be probably at their weakest, but once they get the Brew Blink, get their first item on a Bristleback, that's when they'll be strong, ready to fight. Omni Knight will have his levels. Basically Unknown will have to be careful about how they take fights at that stage of the game. But, basically, no, what's this? It looks like they smoked. I think SF is just in the shadows, though. No, he's just in the shadows. We got some weird graphics going on. There we go. He comes out.
Here we go.
Comes out in his true colors.
All right, they're back out and ready to play, and they're going to go ahead and start beelining it towards this bottom lane, looking to possibly roam towards the Empire side of the jungle, but there's no real jungler on the side of Empire. This is like we want to go and just kind of, set the tone of this game by maybe hoping to get a quick first blood at a rate like this. So
yeah.
Maybe they can get it here. On the bottom, it's going to be silent and always want to fly. So that's going to be their challenge. Getting a hold of him could be pretty tricky if he does decide to go do a quick level into that spin. And they could be on their own here because top lane looks like it will be a secured rune for Empire as they have what looks like Resolution as a mid lane brew. Aloha Dance is on the support Omni Knight with Yoki on his Bristleback. So
man, bottom lane.
Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. They move in. Tombstone's going to be dropped. Always Want to Fly is going to be taken down thereafter. So basically Unknown's like, okay, Empire, good morning. How are you doing? First blood goes to us, and we'll secure the bottom rune. So there it is, gods. First blood.
That worked out too perfect. The Shadow Shaman only saw the Centaur. He's like, oh, Centaur's alone. The other 4 heroes had already made it past the trees and like looped underneath, tangoed through, and punished that. That was a quick and easy first blood for basically Unknown, but they're gonna have to do more than that to beat a team like Empire.
Yeah, Empire like, that's fine. That's fine. Have a freebie. You'll need it. Probably feeling pretty confident coming to this matchup. I'm sure a lot of people out there feeling confident with their bets on a team like Empire for this, but we'll have to see if the Unknown squad, who, according at least to Gosu Gamers, hasn't played a pro match since February, early February, so maybe looking to shake off the rust a little bit here. And they have quite the test here. A team like Empire, like you said, last season, the Star Ladder champions here. They're going to have to still battle their way back to the main stage, though, to prove themselves. So we got a Brew Shadow Fiend matchup here in the mid lane, gods. Right now, going to at least start with the Thunderclap. But do you think he might consider going with the Drunken Haze value point in this kind of matchup? Or do you think raises are going to bring in plenty of farm for Mr. Dumpster Player, a.k.a. Arise?
I'm not a big fan of the Drunken Haze value point. There's a few matchups where I think it's okay, like you're versing a Viper or a TA. I think if you're getting it, you get level 1. As soon as you get that clap, you lose the value if you're not getting the haze at level 1. So
yeah, and he goes right
bottom
for the
lane.
brawler.
Whoa, Silent, he's almost dead. He's got a salve and a stick, but he took a lot of damage to this Zeus Undying lane.
Yeah, this Zeus Undying lane kind of already letting him know that they're going to be very aggressive, but Aloha Dance not afraid to kind of club it home there with the Undying. So, like you said, looking to basically work around that tombstone. It's down now, 30 seconds. Feels like Empire are going to have free will to kind of go with the CS and put their own pressure on the lane. But immediately they run back. You're going to see here, Zeus looking to get some clarity, trying to mana on up here, dish out some early nuke damage here to Always Want to Fly. And they will shoo him back a bit. Actually, it's a good amount of damage. Man, mind control. Look at him go. Decay going to be dropped. Heal on the return. These two, they really want to kind of throw out the punches and jabs right here in this bottom lane.
This is a 2v3 lane as well. Centaur, meanwhile, killing off your Bristleback top. Omni Knight, his rotation with the TP just a little bit too late, so That opens up this bottom lane as well. It's now a 2v2. They don't have that the Omni Knight heal, so
Oh,
Mind
there
Control
they
getting
go.
more aggressive.
Yep, drops down the tombstone, hoping that he can block him in his place a bit. The zombies or little critters now with
Yeah,
this.
he's probably saying, if that's me, I get blocked there. Like, what happened? Like, the whole creep wave was blocking the little pathway, but somehow Shadow Shaman
sneaks his way through, finds a little pocket, and will be safe. Here's the return now. Zeus with a haste rune. Ha ha ha! Fool! I'm gonna get you. They run right behind the tower. Always want to fly. Oh boy, he's in trouble. Decay's dropped, and they do manage to pincer him and take him down. Look at this, GoDz. Basically unknown. Open this game up already. 3-0.
Well, okay. The early game has gone as well as they could hope for. Empire just getting outlaned for the most part here. They have got a lineup which has a good mid-game comeback potential, but they gotta kind of polish things off in these lanes. Silent not getting, none of their cores doing that well or getting much farm apart from the Brewmaster in mid lane. I guess they're going to be looking to resolution in the mid game with a early Blink Dagger to help them out.
Yeah, it's, as of recent, we haven't been seeing a lot of the mid lane brews. It's been more of, I've actually seen more 4-position brews as of recent than the mid lane brew, but they definitely want to be able to set up a pretty serious mid game period to allow the Jug and possibly even Yoki on his Bristleback to kind of shine through in the later game and looking to take it home. Here they go, possibly some aggression here. Nico gets the stun onto Aloha Dance. The silence is there. Do they have enough burst? They do. They take down the Omni with the help of that silence from Pure Evil. He can't heal himself, but he also can't get away from the Quill Spray of Yoki. Yoki's going to get a twofer right here with another spray. Oh, the wand. Going to be popped right there, and Yoki doesn't want to commit.
He had a lot of Quill stacks. I think he could have. He
Yeah.
He had 9 sick charges of himself. There is a double edge, I guess. So there's a... Chances are they both die, potentially. So yeah, I guess it's playing it safe.
I suppose. That double-edge range can be a bit deceptive if he wants to dive, but they go back onto him. Silence. They get down the nuke. There's the stun. There's the chop. 5-1 now for basically unknown. Nico, baby, gets to walk away with a new chunk of change. Now 1K towards what I imagine being that Blink Dagger. And then the new runes do pop up. Bounty's going to be there at the bottom, which... See Zeus is scouting out and saving for his buddy or standing to rise. Top, it's going to be a regen, which they're going to kind of just at least hold off for now. So action back towards bottom. Intriguing matchup, and Undying, he really needs to thrive here. I just can't help it. Every time I see an Undying, they just seem to fall off, GoDz. It just doesn't end up working out for him unless they have this kind of an early game.
Yeah. Do you think this has been good enough with the early game for him?
It's okay. I feel like you really, really need to hit it out of the park, though. I mean, I just feel like of all the heroes that kind of can, they can fall off, he falls off one of the earliest. But here we go. Looking to move in. Tombstone dropped. Always want to fly. Might need to consider doing something. Turns back and does get off the shackle, but it's not going to be enough. They quickly nuke him down. Silent as well. Could be in trouble. Still has the spin. Doesn't need to pull it out. Rotation comes from Resolution. And he does have level 6 split. Oh, man, he might get Mind Control here. Mind Control runs back to the left into the spin and could go down. Will go down. Will go down. Okay, gets taken down right there. Silent gets the kill. Resolution doesn't really get anything for himself, but with his presence, they were able to turn things around and find themselves a kill. Top lane, though, GoDz, they are diving behind the tower. Here is Yoki, making it go into Pure Evil. Gets the silence. They get stunned, and they try to get the hell out of there.
Back in bottom lane, they go on the Zeus once more. In Celine. He's got no escape plan. This is the one thing, that Undying lane, like, you're winning that lane for five minutes, and then suddenly 2 kills go Empire's way. Even though, like, the net kills is in your favor still, like, you're up 4 kills to 2 or something. Those 2 kills were the most recent that you just gave up, and that's where this lane starts to struggle and fall apart.
Yeah. I'm not convinced quite yet that the Undying is going to be a big deal this game. Oh, boy. Oh, juke back. Drops the Tombstone. A panic Tombstone, please. Go with that. Don't go with me. Oh, God. They're still chasing. He needs help. Help's on the way, though. Nearby. Here comes Zeus. He's able to zone them back with Nuke, and they look to turn it back in. Whoa! Look at that damage. He is going to be fine. Heals on up, but Resolution comes in from behind. Still yet to pull out the split. Gets the clap. There's the split. Bare Necessities will come out, and Mind Control will go down again. So, just as we're talking about the discussion of Undying and what he can offer, he goes down back-to-back times in his bottom lane. Oh, they might also get a double. Okay, no. Oh, immediate rotation canceled just to kind of make sure they can keep Resolution in check so he can't overcommit. But mid lane, Pure Evil able to rotate in back behind from Always Want to Fly. Boop. Gets bopped right there, and it's going to be Arise who picks up that kill. Oh, no, no one gets the kill. He just goes down to the Dire, and the gold's going to be split.
Radiant's middle tower is under
action all over the place. Oh, no, it went to the Shadow Fiend. He got it.
Oh, he did get it?
Yeah.
I thought I saw head. Oh, you're right. It was just a long name.
Yeah, exactly. Two very long
st-
names, and it took up like 3 extra lines that it needed to.
Yeah,
so.
that's unfortunate. Okay, well, here we go. Yeah, it just doesn't stop. Yoki feeling manly right here, moving forward. Heals there, not going to be able to connect, but the Quills will. And Skywrath Mage goes down. So this started as basically unknown, having a pretty good lead in. It almost felt like it was, what, 5-0 at one point. But quickly Empire now stringing together a couple of kills. It's 5-7 at about 7 minutes in. And yeah, GoDz, it doesn't feel like the early game advantage we were expecting out of basically unknown is going to be thriving enough. Not enough to prevent the Empire lineup from really becoming quite juicy in the mid-game.
And not really. I think the blink on the Centaur is the one item which will really kind of give a little shot in the arm to the basically unknown lineup. They're going for this SF mech build, which is kind of a defensive item. It's going to help for sure. There's a lot of physical damage, but it's very much an item which isn't going to turn this game around once they start losing their lead. The blink on the Centaur is the one item which can do that. So we're going to have to see Nico Baby really get active with that blink stampede when he has it available.
Yeah, oh, there. They get the slow. They get the silence. Aloha Dance. They get the kill. Okay. He gets taken down. Skywrath Mage is just a nightmare to someone like Omni Knight. Because Omni Knight, he doesn't have a lot of range to work with. I mean, he's got great defensive capabilities and can turn a fight right over on its head. But you got to be real close to get it done. And Skywrath Mage, as long as he's present, he has long range to work with on getting that Ancient Seal out there. It's an instant cast, so it's not like he's going to be able to get it or repel off immediately. And I'm actually curious to see for the Skywrath Mage if he's just going to start maxing out Ancient Sail quickly or if he's going to just put more value points into getting Arcane Bolt.
He's undecided, yeah. He's holding on to one skill point, but I can see either one working. If you get farm, the Arcane Bolt's always nice. If you can just get like a couple Null Talismans bottom lane, they go in Undying. He's in trouble. Sick Chargers aren't going to save you there.
Boy, oh boy. Now 0-3.
It feels like all they gained from that dual lane with the Undying Zeus has been completely lost. Silent is caught up on farm. He can rotate to the jungle whenever he wants to. For now, there's no need. He can farm the lane, push out the lane. It just feels like any advantage is gone.
Okay, here we go. Yoki mid lane under pressure here. They're looking to turn back with Stampede, and they do get the kill. It's Zeus who grabs the last hit on that one. 6-9. Giggity. They get the turnaround. Still basically unknown with the kills advantage here, but it's still feeling like Empire are fine. They have the net worth advantage. 1,500 gold. Aloha Dance will go down again as he gets caught out. The silence again. Right there in time. They even commit a tombstone for this one, but they help with the raises there from Arise, and they get the kill. But yeah, I agree with you. The second that the Centaur is able to put together a Blink Dagger, which he does have now, he's going to look to put it to strong use, and then that way Arise can get it on the action, and he's going to be what the real late game is all about here for basically unknown. But will it be enough to contest the jug of Silent as well as Yoki's Bristleback? That's the question.
Empire, they're stacking Ancients, they're farming their jungle, they're being very efficient on the map, even. And to do this against a team that's kind of got the kill advantage on you right now, they're going to keep going around looking for these ganks is kind of the right way to play this. So they secure their late game, even if they give up kills here or there, like we just saw in the mid lane at the bottom rune. It's not the biggest issue for them, assuming they're getting farm elsewhere on the map, because Unknown are not quite getting the same good farm efficiency.
Resolution now. He's got his Blink Dagger. They're on the hunt, looking through the unknown jungle. They find a sweet little stack, and they want to take it for themselves, and they will. So Aloha Dance and Resolution moving as a two-man group. See if they can get anyone. They can't. But Unknown, they're making a move towards mid lane here. They got 4 committed for this mid lane push. Tier 1 tower is very low, and we'll have to see if Empire want to put up any sort of contention. It does feel like basically Unknown in this game, GoDz. They need to take these towers sooner than later. It just feels like the expiration date on their lineup is a bit earlier than Empire's.
Got this level 7 Undying. This is where the hero really shines. And we're seeing him mid lane. He takes down the Shadow Shaman with the help of the Shadow Fiend. And
oh, it's not over there.
On the way.
They jump up to the north. They see Aloha Dance. They take him down. Back-to-back kills right now from basically Unknown. And now Yoki's going to be next on the list. They try to come in from behind. And quickly, it's basically Unknown that turn it right over. Pure Evil does go down to Resolution. Resolution still has Primal Split. Will not use it to try to help out the rest of this fight. Knows that Yoki's going to be taken down, will be taken down. So it ends up being a 3-for-1 trade when it's all said and done, counting with the Shadow Shaman takedown at the start of all that. And about a 600-700 gold boost right there for basically Unknown. I feel like they needed that kind of a fight after the early game started looking a bit grim.
Yeah, both Zeus and Centaur are kind of the big victors of that fight as far as farm and XP goes. So Zeus gets up to level 7 as a kind of support Zeus. This is helping him out. He's doing some dewarding top runes, so gonna work on that map control as well. Right now, Empire's vision somewhat limited just to that mid lane ward that they've got. So they did push down the bottom tier 1, so that gives them a bit more map control. Silence getting good farm. He's top of the net worth chart, and that's where that last fight, the trade favored Unknown as far as the actual that fight in a nutshell. But elsewhere on the map, Jug's kind of making up for it by getting towers and getting good farm on himself.
Yeah, it feels like for Empire, like they could be coming up short maybe in some of these engagements, but there's always someone taking use of that space somewhere to kind of bring in all the farm. Oh, they see a rise and they Omni Slash immediately, then shackle him down thereafter. Easy kill right there for Empire. On the other side, though, at the same moment, they do find a kill for basically Unknown as they take down Yoki. They have a 4-man hit squad to do it and quickly pop a smoke thereafter. And the smoke actually was not seen as they actually also de-warded and put their own ward up on the ancient high ground. Oh, Resolution, jump in, clap on the mind control. Doesn't commit out the split quite yet. Now the Stampede flies. Zeus gets out the ultimate, but in the Roche pit, they're making it go. Always want to fly. Could be taken down as Silent continues to go for the Roche. Here comes basically Unknown to take it back. The wards were also committed. Centaur gets the Aegis. And look at it break out right now. They drop both of the Empire boys, and now Resolution moves in. Still out not using the split. Repelled up. There's going to be the split. Mind Control trying to get away. They already taken down the Zeus. Guardian Angel now going to be pulled out. Yoki comes from the high ground. This could turn around very, very nicely for Empire. They take down Mind Control. There's Centaur with the Aegis that was already actually expired. Nico Baby moving back onto Yoki. Yoki's got to run, and he shows him his bristle back. He's already got that Vanguard. Whoa, what a sidestep. But Resolution caught behind, get blasted and taken apart with the Requiem. He goes down. This is just the most long-winded fight ever. Nico Baby able to get away, and it's Yoki who gets taken down. Always want to fly next. This is going to be a 5-man wipe. Oh, they got it. Arise with the double kill. 20-10. Man, that went well for basically Unknown. They move into the Roche pit. They see Silent and Always Want to Fly trying to do it. They interject, and they come out on top.
There was that like little, they were trying to steal the Ancients. There was a little fight going on around those Radiant Ancients, and I think they said, look, we get out of here. They didn't even want to finish off those Ancients because they, Arise had seen the DD rune at bottom, knew that there was a Shadow Shaman Jug. Both heroes great at taking Rosh. It's like, you guys gotta get to Rosh now, or we've lost Rosh. And they get there at the perfect time. That was really nice play. The Centaur's the one who like body blocked the Aegis pick up there. Jug, it was a nice Blade Fury at the right time to try and negate a lot of the incoming damage, but he had to reposition himself so that the Centaur couldn't take that Aegis. If Jug picks up the Aegis, that's a completely different fight.
Oh, absolutely, but
it'd be a 5 for 2 the other way, most likely.
At this point in the game, it could have been pretty much the beginning of the end, and Empire could take control of the advantage like that in a lead and not let go of it, but basically Unknown give themselves some more time and some more momentum, and they don't want to let up, gods. They have now eyes on bottom lane. This could all start off with a blinking from Centaur to set it up, but look how hesitant Empire are here. I'm looking. Do they have a ward? They don't. They do have the ward back in the lane, so maybe they saw the rotation coming from the 3 and just kind of wanted to play it safe until they saw him pop out from the dark. And there they do pop out and split away. They see him coming towards the mid lane, so they head out up and above. They actually committed the mid lane wards here, but they don't get any towers. They don't get much damage on the towers at all, and it looks like it's going to be free farm for basically Unknown.
Rise getting all those last hits there. He's getting big now, not just the mech. He's got a Blink Dagger. He's level 11. 2 points in the ulti. And the nuke magic down. I keep, every fight, I'm like, okay, it's a bristleback. He just turns his back and doesn't take too much damage. But with an Ancient Seal, that negates so much of the damage block. And the SF raises the double edge to Centaur. There's so much burst damage coming out. It seems to be doing just enough for basically Unknown.
They move into top lane, and he sees the degen aura, and it's like someone's nearby. They ping it. Aloha Dance makes it out. They all make it out safe. Oh, that could have been scary, but man, the last like 2-3 minutes, you could see it's Empire using their map and game sense to see where the movement is from basically Unknown and make sure they're not there when a fight breaks out. So they've been doing a nice job down. They're not looking to get into these bit of engagements. They'd rather just kind of take the time to farm, probably feeling more confident in their late game if their team does continue to itemize a bit further. And they don't want to allow a team like basically Unknown to continue to snowball kills one by one and then be too much of a problem to handle.
they're going to trade tier 1 for tier 1, but defense coming mid lane. There's your stop. They get silent. He gets burst down so incredibly fast, and the rest of the team probably going to struggle to get out of here. Healing Ward only going to do so much. The GA going to help actually a lot, but one more blink stun, and this is the end of this fight for Empire.
For Empire, it's done, but not for Basically Unknown. They move forward to get the stun and take out Aloha Dance, and Yoki now under a bit of pressure. He's a bristleback, though. He soaks it all in. Actually brought down to about half life. All the meanwhile, you got Resolution pushing the bottom lane, swatting away at this tier 2 tower, looking to find his own side objective. Basically Unknown probably recognized this. They managed to push back Empire and bully him out of this mid lane, and they're going to go for their own tier 2.
That was everyone TP'd mid, so Resolution's pretty safe here. I think there's like 1 TP or something at most. Looks like the Skyrat is the only one with the TP, so it's a tier 2 for a tier 2. The game plan entirely for Empire, you can see like when that push was happening top lane by Basically Unknown, they're like push bottom, push mid. They push one lane, we push 2 other lanes. Don't let them 5-man us without taking trades. And Basically Unknown trying to prevent that TP to defend, but they can only TP defend 1 lane properly, so it's still an okay position for Empire as they trade towers, get better, kind of get closer and closer to that late game stage where they feel heroes like Undying, Zeus are going to be falling.
Yeah. Well, right after that mid lane, Basically Unknown go towards the top and also take a tier 1. Empire look to strike back. I'm sure that joke's never been used again with Empire in the game, but so original. They do manage to find their own in the mid lane, taking a tier 1. So after all these structures start going down, you can see the balance of the net worth between both teams still in favor for Basically Unknown, about 3K. So not as dramatic as it feels after these recent fights. It feels like Basically Unknown have actually been put together a lot of victories in these engagements. You're talking about that Roche big fight, then mid lane. But just because Empire are kind of putting themselves across the map, finding more spread of farm, trading objectives, they're still holding on little by little here.
Yeah, the gold lead is very manageable for Empire, so the 3,000 net worth advantage is something more kind of reflected in the supports, as both of Empire's supports are very, very far behind what we're seeing on the Dire side, but the core heroes are all in decent shape. The Jug, the Brewmaster especially. Bristleback, looking pretty squishy in these fights. Every time he gets an Ancient Seal, and even without, he gets raised a couple times, double edge, he's fallen and dropping quickly. That's why he's picked up this kind of casual cloak to help him out.
Yeah.
Could be a good game to get a pipe with all the magic damage flying around.
Yeah, pipe guy. Don't see enough of those as of recent, but in a game like this, probably needs to be considered. You're talking about Skywrath Mage and Zeus dishing out some huge magical burst. And even for someone like Mind Control on his Undying, you got Decay, which is magical. You got Soul Rip, which is magical. Certainly would be nice to have that pipe at the ready here. So Yoki's probably going to be the candidate to pick it up for now, like you said, though, holding on at least to the cloak, because he's supposed to be the frontliner. The meat of the meat and potatoes of his team, and he's like I don't know, a flimsy little skirt steak right now.
Whoa, Resolution blinking in, and actually found the Zeus there. Just if he was in clap range, that's a dead Zeus.
Oh, charge flies out. Is this on mid lane? It is. They see the wards committed, and they want to make him pay. Always want to fly, goes down, and it's going to be another set of farmed up wards here for Basically Unknown. Empire, man, this feels like an Empire team. The way they're playing this game is not usual Empire. It's not like fight, win, and like someone like Resolution snowballing in the mid game and bringing in like 19 kills or anything. This is like, we're just gonna do our own side objectives.
It's like TI3 Alliance almost in the like kind of taking that Rat Dodo approach where you're trying to avoid fights when possible, and always when you see your opponent's 5-manning pushing, you're pushing the other 2 lanes. So even if they push, you take 2 lanes. Just by avoiding fights, you get an advantage. But Basically Unknown are doing a really good job punishing it whenever possible. The way teams have learned to play against it is you prioritize defending over pushing. And just, you get more farm and you get the kills. And then you just push once your lanes are kind of pushed out enough, which is what Basically Unknown are doing a really good job of.
You can totally recognize, or at least it feels like Empire recognize that at this point in the game, they are not comfortable with taking a big team fight. While Basically Unknown, all they want to do is team fight. I mean, they are like the Boy Scouts here with their buddy-buddy system, just now parading down this top lane, going for the tier 2. Always having everyone together ready. Pure Evil's the only like stowaway over here, moving back towards the Fountain on his own base, but otherwise their full team is ready to take a fight at a moment's notice. They have plenty of committed team fight potential, and Empire are just like, okay, we see you pushing top, we're gonna find something mid. Look at Resolution here, coming in from behind, but he gets silenced up immediately. Mystic Flare, oh, chopped on the ass. Nico Baby gets that kill. 10 to 24 now. Oh, Empire, this is feeling a bit shaky. Coming in heavy favorites into this matchup. 85%. Not playing like it here, it looks like, at least in game number 1. Bit surprising.
You were telling me about all the crazy stuff happening in Starlighter, and I was like, yeah, there's been some pauses, there's been some clowny stuff from like Moscow 5, who you kind of expect clowny stuff from, but I didn't expect Empire to come into their first game against basically unknown and be this far behind. That is one of the more unexpected outcomes so far. But
still, though, when you look at the net worth graph, it's only about 3K net worth for unknown. So Empire still, they managed to just kind of out-farm basically unknown just by taking in towers, taking in bits of creeps here and there, and making sure they're not going to get swallowed up whole. But look at this. I like the recognition right here. Basically unknown. Roche is back, and they go right for it. And at this point, I don't think Empire can consider contending it whatsoever.
Unknown, you kind of highlighted they'd love to fight. They want to brawl right now, and that's Roshan's a great way to try and either force that or at least get ages for your team. So there is a BKB on Resolution. That's what he wished he had that last team fight when he kind of went blinking in, but didn't have. Was back at base at the time, so maybe with the BKB, and the pipe is online as well. They've got their 2 big items for team fight.
Okay, they want to go. Roche, it's too late. Moves forward, though. Resolution puts the clap out. Stampede, Crimson Guard going to be popped. They're looking to fight. Arise, can't quite get off the ultimate. Does there. They lose the Aegis immediately. Empire move right. They get caught in the middle. Big stun from Nico, but they quickly turn it back over. And now the Bruce split doing work. Pure Evil, barely alive, will go down. 2-for-1 trade so far. Undying looking to swallow up Resolution as the Bruce split will end. Yoki is already heading out the side door. And Resolution can't find the exit, so he goes down. It's a 3-for-1. 3-for-2 if you do count that Aegis dropping. But basically unknown, basically winning that fight. And now they move towards the bottom and go for a tier 2.
That was Empire at their kind of their strongest as far as any fight they've taken in the last 20 minutes. That's been probably the one where they were most equipped to deal with what Unknown had. Apart from the Aegis, that's really the big issue there. They take down the SF, kill him off fast before he wreck him would have been great, but without an Aegis, it would have been very different. But BKB, pipe, not enough for Empire. They're still losing the team fight, and some of these heroes are there, like the Shadow Shaman is just always want to fly is 0-9. Shadow Shaman is not a hero you want to be when you're playing from behind. This is a hero where if you're ahead, you're taking objectives, he's great. Maybe if you're split pushing, which he's been doing a bit of, but every time he tries to split push it, the team on Dire team just TPs back, farms his wards, kills the Shadow Shaman, and that's where he is right now. He's 0-9.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm trying to remember, thinking back to the draft, if maybe like Lion was banned out and they wanted to go for the next best thing in the Shadow Shaman, being similar with his multi-CC, multi-lockdown capabilities. And I agree with you, when they are up and ahead, it's a beautiful thing. You get a nice timed Blink Dagger and you can kind of lead off initiations and pickoffs, but it hasn't felt like that kind of thing at all for Empire. And instead, he's trying to utilize those wards as best as possible, doing split pushing and trying to catch towers on the side. But from what I've seen, these farms are more often farmed up and taken away, and an advantage almost for basically unknown. And, well, because of that, they're able to bring in some extra resources, and it's paying off in these fights.
The 2 supports combining for 0 and 16 on Empire. That is...
Whoa.
I didn't even realize
that is
ugly.
So crazy. And it's Empire. You're talking always want to fly. This guy... top-notch Visage player, just top-notch all-around support. Aloha Dance, he was a ridiculous Rubik at Starladder. These are top-caliber players. Some of the best supports you'll see in the game. We got a 0-9 and 0-7. What did they eat for breakfast? What did they not eat for breakfast? They didn't... I don't know. This just doesn't feel like the Empire squad right now, man.
It definitely doesn't. Should have had their Wheaties, I guess, and... Where things stand right now, it's basically unknown, really poised to take game 1. They're all looking fantastic. Only the kind of Scarith, who's been killed off a few times, but everyone's got their core items. Your SF's got his farm. As far as last hits go, that's where you can see Empire have kind of kept up. You've only got good farm on your SF. The rest of the heroes in the lineup has been kind of mostly farming heroes. Your Centaurs only got 69 last hits, but they make up for it in other ways. You've got 16 kills on the supports. That's going to be money in itself. So Empire have been trying to keep up just by farming the map, farming the jungle, and still have a lot of work to do to turn this one around. And even late game, I feel they're a little bit stronger because Omni a great late game support. They've got good physical damage, but even some heroes like Shadow Shaman are not going to do well late game. They're going to be purely built around just the CC that you kind of talked about here. Having lockdown is going to help a lot.
Yeah.
SF does have a BKB now, but you can still get that jump on him, especially with a Blink Dagger, but farming a Blink this game is not going to be easy.
Yeah, they need to... it's hard because you know they need to build a little bit of something, a little bit extra something special behind these two supports on Empire. A Blink Dagger, on your Shadow Shaman. Aloha Dance, maybe if you can get like a luxury Agnum Scepter, just because getting the GA, you're committing so much into the fight, and this Omni Knight has so little. I mean, just Tranquil Boots and a Soul Ring is not going to keep you alive in most of these engagements. So being able to get in there and get the GA off is going to be a bit of a sticky situation here. So here's our pause. We were expecting them to be coming in, so we're prepared and ready, folks. But this is just game number 1. If you're just tuning in, it's a best-of-3 matchup right now between Empire and Basically Unknown. And, well, later today, Starladder TV. We're going to be seeing also Team Emperor taking on Na'Vi. But the second I switch things around, they are ready to get back underway. And, well, here we go. Zeus Ultimate's going to fly out to just give them that extra bit of vision. But the majority of Empire are pushing up this top lane. And going to be looking to add some side pressure as they go for a tier 2 themselves.
So something that, based on Unknown, for the most part, generally defend these kind of side pushes, and they're already headed up there. Have Undying leading the way, and a couple other heroes trailing him. So push towards mid, not going to happen.
And the Veil as well on my control.
Yeah, it's a nice pickup. The magic damage, so much magic damage. It's all about the amplification. Aloha Dance barely escapes.
That Mystic Flare is not going to stop him from TPing. So an air ball right there, and a very thankful Aloha Dance gets the hell out before Basically Unknown just quickly swarming. Just coming from Empire, I mean, you see something like that, you're like, maybe we can push this top lane a little bit. Next thing you know, everyone's missing, and then they just all jump on top. So as you can tell, Basically Unknown are just kind of setting the tone of this game. Like, don't feel safe anywhere. Once we go missing from this map, you better be ready.
Resolution going to keep up what he's been doing all game long, which is split push. The split pushing Brewmaster. That's when you know you're in dire straits.
Resolution really has been playing his own game.
Yeah, he's been playing it well. Like, this is honestly not been, this game has not been on him by any means, but it's mostly been just Basically Unknown playing really well. But he's never had opportunities to really come to a team fight because his Jug, his Bristleback have always been kind of getting caught out at the side of the fight or just off trying to farm and catch up.
So looks like we need a moment here. TS, I assume, maybe means TeamSpeak.
Yep.
They're trying to work things out as far as their VoIP goes, and they do get it resolved. Arise says, let's party. They get back underway. So we saw Resolution pushing down this bottom lane, makes his narrow escape. Nico Baby pings it out as he tries to go for the hoof stomp in the dark, but they will see right there that he is gone, and there's no reason to be there any further. Meanwhile, back in mid lane, Yoki looking to farm up on his Bristle. Does string together that pipe like you said before, and already has the Ogre Club. I imagine trying to put together that BKB. Do you think once Empire throw together more of these BKBs, that's when things can really turn back around onto the Basically Unknown's head?
Yeah, I think there's definite potential there with double, even triple BKB. I could see Silent Dunk one as well on his Juggernaut, that things will turn around for the better with these BKBs. That first fight when they have just 2 BKBs or even a third BKB, they're going to be looking a whole lot stronger, and something where all this magic damage is going to get larger again. And that's where Bristleback getting the pipe, it's an amazing pipe game there, but the reason you don't see many pipes is because from Bristleback's point of view, he gets more survivability out of a BKB than he does for a pipe. Obviously, it's not the team-oriented mindset where it's like, where the pipe helps everyone out, but if you're a hero that's going to have a high impact and you can deal a lot of damage, which a Bristle can with Quill Stack, sometimes the best thing is just to stay alive yourself as long as possible, rather than help all of your team stay alive a little bit longer with a pipe. So that's where a pipe is kind of has a low purchase rate. And I honestly think the item kind of actually isn't that good because of all the heroes you can go pipe on would just rather farm a BKB 9 times out of 10. This is maybe the 1 out of 10 where that isn't the case.
Yeah. Resolution, he's still playing his own game right now. He's like, I'm just going to get a nice little solo kill here. Takes out Pure Evil, but will he make it out alive? One bear going to be blasted down as he cyclones up the Centaur. Centaur's going to be able to blink here. He needs help, and it's on the way. There's going to be the one catch right there. Resolution, though, able to slippery blink away.
Almost had the bolt waiting for him. That was a cool use from the Zeus onto the Cyclone Panda, because that Cyclone Panda was about to start throwing people up in the air as well. So he's like, I'm gonna use you.
Yeah, taste your own medicine there, buddy. How do you feel about that? But hey, it's Resolution who's able to still walk away unscathed. Cost him a split to take down his support and walk away, so not too shabby there for Empire. But just to keep echoing on what you were saying before, I mean, I certainly agree. It feels like with Empire's lineup, they want those long-winded, long battles, but they need the tools to survive those battles so they can get off more Quill Stacks, so they can get the most out of their wards that have been dropped, the most out of their split. after an Omni Slash being able to kind of clean things up. Their Omni Knight who's going to be able to keep everyone alive under Guardian Angel. This is just ways to kind of keep the fight going for Empire, because as it goes on, they'll get stronger and stronger. While a team like Basically Unknown, they want to move forward and quickly decimate them, whether it's a quick Requiem, a quick Double Edge. They want to get the job done quickly.
Yeah.
So. Scotty on your Shadow Fiend, though. Now complete on the rise.
Gearing towards that late game. He's going to be... I feel the one concern is still going to be when those BKBs come up, where's the physical damage? His is not the greatest with this itemization. I think the itemization has been good, but they want to end the game fast as possible, but BKBs are up. Silent has his back at base. Brewmaster has his. Just the Bristle waiting on about 1k gold.
Oh, Silent moves in, spins, and now Basically Unknown, real uncomfortable with this, because Empire want to fight. They quickly turn around. They pop out the ultimate. They pop out the Crimson Guard and the Stampede all at once. Guardian Angel has to be the response as Requiem goes out, but quickly 2 go down. Both supports die, and now Nico, baby, they move in. They want Yoki. Pops the pipe. Resolution already split up, looking to keep them back and out from the base. Tombstone going to be chopped down there from Silent, still pretty weak and wounded. Wards, big damage on the Nico. Nico goes down. 2-for-1 trade. They get another double kill for Silent. They Cyclone up her eyes, and they want to make it 3. Empire looking to finally take out a big fight for themselves. And meanwhile, nearby, Resolution caught up in arms right now with Zeus, looking to hide in a corner. Uh-oh, gets spotted, clapped, gooed, and, well, he'll be taken care of. Bang, boom, bong. He goes down. Ends up being a 3-for-2 trade, I believe. When it's all said and done, both supports from Empire end up going down. But they're used to that by now in this game.
I was thinking just the same thing. I was like, Aloha Dance, and they didn't just go down. They went down instantly, too.
0-11, 0-8. It's a hard life. Please, boys, carry us into the promised land. Yep. Says I always want to fly in Aloha Dance. Their job, get down the wards, get out Guardian Angel, and then you die. But
that was Shadow Shaman. He dropped the ward, said half a second later was dead. Omni at least lasted a little longer.
Live on without me. Oh, boy.
The fight went, like, Empire just weren't quite prepared for the initial fight because the Brewmaster split was on cooldown for like 5 seconds, and the Jug wasn't really ready to go. But yeah, once they got those back up, they made it kind of.
Oop, top lane, Stampede. It looks like Nico was like, I'm going to go for Silent, but then Resolute shows up with a DD, and he's like, I might need some help. So here comes help. They move on forward. Crimson Guard popped. Tombstone dropped. Resolution's going to get it piped up. He needs 6 more seconds for the split. 4 more seconds for the split. No more mana. He commits the clap, and he goes down. Wouldn't have gotten it off anyways, but whoa, what a jump by Nico, baby. Cuts off Yoki at the pass, and they're going to sandwich him into this bit of a hellhole, and oh, man, Requiem will fly out. Mystic Flare. So much hate. So much hate, but yeah, he ends up taking himself out. Skywrath Mage drops down Mystic Flare and gets taken care of from, I assume, a couple of quills, and, well, Basically Unknown, they get 2 big cores down at the end of it, gods.
And for Basically Unknown, they just want to kind of at least trade evenly and have some okay clashes in the next 10 minutes, because these next 10 minutes is when these BKBs are high duration. Your Jug still has a 9-second BKB. Your Brewmaster's down to 8 seconds. Once those BKBs get down to 6-5 seconds, having these long-winded fights are going to get a lot easier for Basically Unknown. They're also, with heroes on the sidelines, wanting to push and take objectives.
Yoki's still out 30 seconds with no buyback. They do have a buyback on Resolution, but he's only got 15 seconds left, so it's like, I don't want to use this buyback, but you're tier 3. They have Glyph. Yeah, they got Glyph. They use it. It'll be enough time for at least Resolution to come back for sure. Maybe Basically Unknown want to try to commit, get the tower, and get the hell out if they can, but wards are going to be dropped in Silent. Starts chopping down the creeps. He's safe under the cover of Repel. Tower goes down, not going to be denied, and immediately they try to stampede their way out, but they don't want to let him go. Ooh, Silent try to get off the Omni Slash, but the quick blink and the quick eject from Basically Unknown doesn't allow it to happen. Nico, baby, going to get away with a TP. Will. And Resolution still chasing forward with a Repel on. Come here, Zeus. Come here. I got to get someone for this. You can't get away with this tier 3 for nothing. Oh, my God, the haste rune.
Yes, he can.
Resolution moves in, sees that there's going to be no Roche. Silent. Oh, God, he is just flirting with death here.
They're hoping for this Roche respawn, and they're going to have their wishes granted.
Oh, my God, it does pop up. They see it, but they're taking some damage from Zeus. Get away from that. We want that Roche. Oh, both sides recognize this, and it's going to be tense here. It's going to get real tense.
Let the standoff begin.
Yeah, look at him on the low ground. They even get the sheep. Ooh, nice Force Staff right there coming out from their Skywrath Mage to save out a rise from the high ground. Resolution, though, pulls out the split. He's at the front gate of Roche, making it go into Pure Evil, and he goes down. Now looking to turn back. Silent goes right for the Tombstone and takes it out. Stampede going to be popped, so will the pipe on Empire. And Nico, baby, is going to get swallowed up here if not careful. Pulls out double edge. Guardian Angel, though, those fly and the counter back. Requiem not going to be going out to too much avail. Arise desperate to get away. Will not get away. 4 go down. Immediate buyback from Undying, but the damage has been done. Empire win that fight, and they get the reward. They go into Roche.
Zeus is also getting chased still. Nasally Goo slowing him down.
No! The slowest, most painful death ever. Juke, juke.
He did.
Oh, nice.
He had like 4 goos on him and somehow got it off him.
Yoki's just like, don't even think about coming near this Roche kid. Now he's going to have his arms filled with 2, but he's just like, I could still get this Zeus. Meanwhile, you see Roche is going to go down. Silent picks up his Aegis, but Yoki's still in fisticuffs right now. Gets the kill on the Zeus. Now wants mind control here. As everyone's still dead, he can commit for it, and he will. He's going to get this kill. Boom. Boom. Double kill for Yoki. How things have quickly turned as Empire get a 5-man wipe in a Roche. Just like that, GoDz.
They've been essentially behind the entire game, and all it takes is that one fight. And they're in a pretty sizable lead, too. It's not just like they've turned things around and it's back to even. They go from being behind all game to being probably like a good 5k or so ahead. And strategically, they're just in a great position to win this game with an Aegis in their hands, with the ability to now take fights with all these BKBs, a late game Omni Knight with a Guardian Angel. There's no Diffusal Blades on this dire side. This is where things get a bit dicey for Basically Unknown.
Within the past less than 10 minutes, it went from what was a 6-7k gold lead for Basically Unknown to now a near 5k gold lead for Empire at that. That was not just a 5-man wipe. That was a 7-man takedown with 2 buybacks in the middle of it, too. So Empire pretty much have a dream right there. What delectable, I guess you could say, Roche timing for them to be able to take advantage of that. And I think at this point, Empire just will now have the upper hand in these team fights. Heroes like your Zeus and your Undying, with these BKBs coming out, their potency is just getting dwindled down little by little.
Is just getting really big. His Omni Slash isn't doing too much in these fights. The Crimson Guard's helping out a lot there. Like, Centaur tanked an entire Omni Slash and was still half HP because of his item build with the Crimson Guard shivers, but there's still just the right clicks after that with the BKB. Silent tears heroes apart. That SF did not stand a chance.
Yep, they are now moving through BU territory as they go towards this mid lane. All outer towers have been taken care of from both sides. So making a move on forward for objectives means moving into the base itself, GoDz. Someone's got to knock on this front door, and it's going to be Empire paying the first greeting. Hey guys, how's it going?
Where's the Shadow Shaman? You need your Serpent Wards.
Shaman, way behind. Always want to fly. Let's go, let's go, let's go. You're 0 and 12. Get in the fight, buddy. Way behind. But they don't care. They don't need him. Silence in there. He's got Aegis. He's like, I'll do it myself. I'm going to be the wards for my team with this first Aegis if I got to. But he's even going to get repelled up. And, well, they get off some good damage, bringing the tower nearly down. And with the second wave, they already have the Tombstone popped and ready to go. It gets pinged down immediately from Resolution. So they're like, that's fine. We'll wait. We're just going to wait. We're going to wait for this Tombstone to go down, and then we'll commit. Oh, man, that was premature.
Yeah, it feels it. The Veil as well. Veil has like 100% uptime, I think, with the cooldown. But
yeah, this is feeling like a fresh and ripe 18-year-old blowing the load a little too early at this point. And well, Basically Unknown. Moving to the pit.
I know that feeling, oh too well.
Yeah, it's like, I didn't do it.
That
but
one
Empire,
hit a bit too close to home.
Empire showing they're a well-adapted and mature squad. They can hold their load, they can move in, and they can time everything beautifully. But here we go, the final hurrah for Basically Unknown inside their own base, trying to get Empire out, but they take the racks and they leave. We got what we wanted. See you later. Mind Control wants to hold them back with already everything being expended. It looks like they're going to be forced to just kind of clean up these wards and deal with the mess that's already been made inside their home base.
On Empire, they're just going to go for another lane here. They've still got the Aegis for a good minute and a bit, so they'll look for that second lane, and as 2 lanes of racks is pretty much game over. I feel Unknown don't have the best wave clear. They don't really have a good way of pushing out, so they can't afford to lose.
Well, they might have to. Silent moves in, repelled up, gets some early chops in on the tower. Still has the Aegis, so Empire feel very comfortable putting him out in the front, dangling him there, seeing if they can get Basically Unknown to kind of use any of their skills early, but this time it looks like Empire are going to have to wait for the secondary wave. I agree, man. They end up getting the job done here. Might as well be GG, but it won't be over if that's the case. We have a best of 3 here, so basically known if they are to lose this first game, they got another chance to kind of bounce on back and take it to a game 3.
And already showing they can go head-to-head with Empire as well, so they'll have at least that slight level of, maybe not confidence, but reassurance that, okay, this team doesn't just completely blow us out of the water.
Well, they jump in, they stun, they want to try to take down Silent here, who's been healed up, still with Aegis in hand.
For 10 seconds or so, he's going to be careful about that timing. Already, Rage Rex down.
Just so much magic immunity. After the repel ends, if he needs to, he can pop his BKB, but here we go! Sometime, basically no need to fight, the time is now! They jump in, Zeus is popped, Stampede's used, they move forward, they can't kill anyone. It's Yoki. They're trying to chop, but he takes too much damage. Finally, the first kill drops, and it's going to be Mind Control going down on Undying. Nico Baby should go down soon thereafter. Huge Omni Slash from Silent, gets a double. Zeus should be next to drop. Jump in stun from your Centaur after his buyback. Resolution eats the cheese, gets healed up, and it's over. Basically a known. Basically taking to get advantaged up right there. That was just Empire looking to come back in the end. They knew how the game was going to be played out, even though it was a strong start for the Dire side in the laning phase. Empire, they keep it cool, calm, and collected, and they managed to bring the game back.
Yeah, by far from Empire's best performance, but it's a team who have been so consistent and in general, and a team you know is not going to just fall over when they're put in a position like that. They'll slowly drag the game out, make the better kind of mid to late game decisions, and find that all it takes with a team like Empire is that one moment where they turn one fight around, and that was kind of that last Roshan where they get an Aegis out of that, and that was it. That was game.
Yeah, that Roche fight was like Empire kind of staying in this one, but when that Roche fight ended, it was like, and Empire have won.
Yeah.
And at that point, it was hoping for maybe an overthrow as they pushed into basically Unknown's base and trying to keep them alive, but Empire, they've been around the block. They know how to end a game if they need to, and they clearly do there. So props to them. They get game number 1, basically Unknown. They do have another chance. It's a best of 3, and they can look to even things up and take it to a game number 3 here in our next matchup. I'm KotLGuy, and that is GoDz. We're Beyond the Summit, bringing you the English coverage here on our Beyond the Summit channel, so show some love, hit follow. Follow us on our Twitters. I'm KotLGuy. That's BTS GoDz on Twitters, and we'll be back in just a moment for Mo Dota actions. Please stick around.
G2A.com, the best video game store ever! Fast as lightning, solid as a rock, cheap as duck! What's more, you can sell on it because it's also a marketplace. Remember G2A.com, the best video game store ever!